The sky turned dark as massive alien ships appeared above every major city. They were not small. They were enormous, shapes that no human had ever seen before, glowing with lights that pulsed like living hearts. People stopped in the streets, their eyes wide, staring upward in fear. No one spoke. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Satellites went silent. Radio signals disappeared. Phones had no connection. Television screens flickered and then went black. Governments scrambled, sending alerts to every military base, every city, every town. Humanity realized with a deep, trembling fear that something beyond imagination had arrived. In the skies, alien fleets formed perfect lines. Ships moved silently, like predators in formation. On one of the command ships, Commander Karin stood in the bridge, his claws tapping against a metal railing. He had conquered many worlds, yet this planet was different. His fleet hovered, waiting for the signal to strike. "Send the order," Karin growled. His voice echoed through the control room. "Earth will fall in hours. Prepare the defenses to be crushed." Back on Earth, military scrambled. Fighter jets roared into the skies, their engines slicing through the thick, dark clouds. Missiles streaked toward the invaders. The first shots were fired. But something strange happened. The aliens expected chaos, destruction, screams, but humans did not fight the way they anticipated. Instead of responding with vengeance, humans ran toward the danger. Civilians ran into burning buildings to save others. Soldiers climbed over wreckage to pull survivors out. And most shocking of all, humans reached out to injured alien pilots who had crashed, carrying them to safety instead of killing them. Karin watched through the bridge monitors. His eyes narrowed as he saw a young human soldier, no older than 19, lift an alien pilot out of the burning wreckage. The alien's armor was scorched, its body trembling. The human soldier carried him to a safe zone, shielded from explosions, and handed him over to a team of medics. Karin froze. His claws tightened. His mind raced. "Why would an enemy do that?" he whispered almost to himself. The human soldier looked around as if he expected another attack at any moment. He didn't flinch. He didn't hesitate. He just kept helping, pulling another alien from the rubble. Back on Earth, the scene was chaos, but it was also remarkable. Fires burned, buildings crumbled, and explosions lit the sky. Yet humans remained calm, working together to save as many lives as possible. They used whatever they could find, blankets, medical kits, ropes, even their own hands, to pull aliens from the wreckage. Some of the alien pilots were confused, others were frightened. They had expected humans to fight, to attack, to scream, but instead humans treated them like they were just another person in need of help. They had expected hatred, but all they received was kindness. Karin's second-in-command hissed, "They are weak. This is not strategy, it is madness. They will fall in hours." Karin didn't answer. He couldn't. He watched a small alien child, separated from its parents during the attack, being carried by a human nurse through a smoky street. The child looked terrified, clinging to the nurse's uniform. The human whispered gently, "You're safe now. Don't be afraid." The commander felt something he had never felt before: hesitation. Every report coming in showed the same pattern. Cities were under attack, yet humans focused more on saving lives than destroying enemy forces. Hospitals were open, schools became shelters, and every person seemed determined to help whoever needed it, human or alien. On the alien bridge, Karin called for the attack to continue, but the images kept flashing before him. Injured aliens being saved, terrified children being held, soldiers offering blankets and water to enemies. His heart, if he could call it that, tightened. Finally, Karin stepped back from the monitor. He lowered his head, claws grazing the cold metal floor. "This is not what war looks like," he muttered. "This is something else." The humans were not strong because of their weapons, he realized. They were strong because of something far more powerful: their compassion, their courage, their kindness, even to an enemy. Karin's fleet hovered silently, confused. Orders went unspoken. Some ships fired anyway, trying to follow protocol, but the humans were already rescuing the first victims. The more humans saved, the more hesitant Karin became. A warning signal went off. Another wave of alien reinforcements had arrived in orbit. Yet Karin found himself frozen. Could he really give the order to destroy a species that had shown him mercy? A species that even in the face of death chose to save lives? He turned from the monitor and whispered again, almost to himself, "Why would an enemy do that?" Outside, the sky burned with fire and light. Humanity faced the greatest threat in its history, and yet, in the middle of chaos, it showed a power the aliens had never imagined. a power not from weapons but from the heart. And for the first time in his life, Karan questioned everything he knew about conquest, war and strength. The day the sky broke had begun, and it would not end the way anyone expected. The alien ships that had fallen from the sky were now scattered across Earth. Broken hulls lay smoking in fields and cities alike. Soldiers moved cautiously, expecting attacks from every direction. But what greeted them was not fire or vengeance. It was humans, standing with open hands offering help. Among the survivors were dozens of alien prisoners. They had expected cold cells, harsh guards, and endless punishment. They were warriors trained to fight to the death, and yet here they were, being led into shelters that smelled of warmth and food. Commander Mira Hayes walked among them, her uniform crisp, her voice calm but firm. "We take care of all who need help," she told her team. "No matter where they come from, no matter what they've done." The aliens stared. They did not understand. One of them, a young pilot named Vrixa, shook with disbelief as a human medic handed her a warm blanket. "Why?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Because we do what is right," the medic replied simply. Karn watched this from the command ship above. Every image from the battlefield made him more unsettled. His fleet expected chaos, destruction, and fear, but instead they saw humans saving even the enemy. He had never encountered a species like this. In the makeshift shelters, the aliens were fed. Humans offered them water, food, and medicine. Injured warriors who had caused death and destruction were treated with care. A human nurse gently cleaned Vrixa's wounds, speaking softly, explaining that her life mattered here. Other aliens whispered among themselves. "This is not weakness," one said. "It is something we do not understand." Karn's mind raced. Across the galaxy, his empire valued power, fear, and conquest. Mercy was a weakness. Compassion was a trap. And yet here it was, humans had weaponry that could destroy them, yet they chose mercy instead. At one corner of the shelter, a human soldier knelt beside a small alien child. The child's parents had died in the initial attack. Tears ran down its face as it clung to the soldier's arm. The soldier whispered softly, "You're safe. I will protect you." Karan's heart, or the closest thing his species had to a heart, tightened. He had never felt pity for an enemy before. He had never questioned his orders. And yet, watching this scene, something deep inside him stirred. The aliens in the shelter were confused. Some refused the food, unsure if it was a trap. Others stared at the humans with suspicion. But the humans did not flinch. They worked tirelessly, offering blankets, water, and comfort. They even repaired the damaged alien ships, allowing some warriors to survive and return to their people. One alien scientist, Tvok, whispered to Karan through a secure channel, "I have never seen anything like this. They are dangerous, not because of their weapons but because of their hearts. Their kindness is a weapon we cannot understand." Karan did not answer. He could not. He watched a human soldier carry a wounded alien into a med bay, carefully laying it down on a stretcher. The alien's eyes met his, wide with confusion and fear. The soldier smiled, offering words in broken alien speech. "You will live." Hours passed, and still the humans continued their work. Across the world, shelters were filled with humans saving aliens. News channels, those that still functioned, broadcasted images of humans rescuing enemies, tending to wounds and comforting those in fear. Karan's second-in-command, Rakan, was furious. "They are weak," he hissed. "They will die and we will win. Finish the attack, Karan. Do not hesitate." Karan shook his head, unable to move. He could not give the order. How could he, when every image, every report showed humans risking their lives for the very beings who had tried to destroy them? At night, Karan wandered the command deck alone. He replayed the videos of humans holding alien children, bandaging wounds and offering blankets. He saw a small alien pilot crying from fear, and a human soldier whispering words of comfort. Every time he watched, a feeling he had never known grew inside him: hesitation. The Empire had trained him to conquer, to destroy, to obey. And yet, Karan felt something else now, something terrifying. Could he betray the species that showed him mercy? Could he continue the war when humans were proving something far stronger than any weapon? In the shelter, Vrixa finally spoke. "I do not understand your species," she said softly to a human nurse. "Why do you help us?" The nurse knelt to meet her eyes. "Because it is right. Because we do not fight for revenge. We fight to protect what matters. That is our strength." Karan watched silently from his ship. Strength. Not from weapons. Not from fear. From heart. As the night fell over the planet, the humans continued their work. Fire still burned in cities, but humans ran into danger to save lives. Aliens, once fierce and unfeeling, began to whisper among themselves. Some were ashamed of their attacks. Some wondered if their empire had been wrong all along. Karin's communication device buzzed with a new order from the Empire: destroy Earth. Leave no survivors. Obey or your world dies. He stared at the message, his claws tightening around the console. Outside, in the shelter, humans sang softly to calm frightened children, alien and human alike. Karin whispered, almost to himself, "How can I destroy them? They do not fight like enemies. They fight like humans." The first night of the war ended, and Karin realized something terrifying. This battle was not about weapons. It was about the human heart. And that was a weapon he had never encountered before. The morning sun struggled to pierce through the thick smoke rising from Earth's cities. Streets were cracked, buildings were shattered, yet humans moved with purpose. They were not panicking. They were not running away. They were helping, rescuing, comforting, and rebuilding as the alien fleet continued to hover above. Commander Karin stood on the bridge of his flagship, staring at the planet below. His claws tapped nervously on the railing. Every report from the battle zones told the same story. Humans did not fight with hatred, yet they were strong beyond belief. They did not seek revenge. They sought life. Karin, hissed his second-in-command, Rakan, "Our reinforcements have arrived. The orders are clear: finish the planet. Obliterate the humans before they inspire resistance. Do you understand?" Karin's gaze did not leave the monitors. He could see humans pulling injured aliens out of wrecked streets. Children hid in human shelters, scared, crying, but they were safe. Families waited together, holding hands. Even animals had shelters. He swallowed hard. "Yes," Karin whispered, but his voice lacked conviction. Meanwhile, on Earth, Mira Hayes prepared her people for the next wave of attacks. She had sent a secret message to Karin, using a secure frequency. Her voice was calm yet urgent. "Karin, you don't have to fight. You don't have to follow your orders blindly. We can find a way for both our people to survive. Stop this war before it destroys us all." Karin's claws clenched. He knew the Empire would consider this treason. But he also knew the humans were right. These humans fought differently. They valued life, not power. "Do not answer her," Erkan snapped. "We cannot stop now." Karin ignored him. Orders meant little compared to what he saw. On the streets below, a human firefighter carried a burning alien soldier from a collapsing building. The alien tried to resist, but the firefighter's grip was gentle yet firm. Once safe, he handed the alien over to medics, then returned for another. The humans were relentless, not in attack but in saving lives. And every act of mercy made Karin question his mission. The Empire's fleet loomed above Earth, massive ships ready to fire. Karin's own ship was positioned near the front lines. Orders from above came through constantly: destroy. Leave no one alive. Obey or die. And yet Karin hesitated. The first shots were fired, not by humans but by aliens loyal to the Empire. Explosions lit up the sky, fire raining down on cities. Humans did not panic. They moved forward, risking their own lives to pull the wounded away from danger. Civilians carried debris, guided children, and even helped injured aliens to safety. Karin could not look away. He remembered the alien child he had seen in the shelters, clinging to a human nurse. He remembered the human soldiers carrying fallen alien pilots. And he remembered Myra's words: "We fight to protect what matters, not to destroy." The battle grew more chaotic. Alien reinforcements tried to land troops, but humans had prepared. They did not have advanced weapons like the Empire, yet they used what they had: clever traps, barricades, and courage. Every alien soldier that tried to fight was met not just with resistance, but with humanity's strange, unwavering bravery. Karin's mind was torn. Orders screamed one way. His conscience, something he had never allowed to exist, screamed another. Could he really give the order to destroy these humans who risked their lives to save even his soldiers? Amid the chaos, a group of human medics ran into a battlefield to save a wounded alien squad. Shells exploded nearby, dust and smoke blinding the rescuers, yet they pressed on. One medic reached a small alien girl and gently lifted her into her arms. The girl trembled, but the medic whispered, "You are safe now. I promise." Karin stepped back from the monitors, his claws gripping the edge of the console. His voice was barely audible. This is not war. This is something else." Back on Earth, Mira and her team coordinated efforts to protect civilians and aliens alike. They moved through broken streets, carrying water, blankets, and first aid kits. Even in the midst of explosions, humans offered words of comfort to the terrified. Rakan hissed angrily beside Karin. You are hesitating. The Empire will destroy you if you fail. Destroy them now. Karin shook his head, his mind racing. He watched a human soldier climb a burning building to rescue trapped aliens. The soldier's uniform was torn, his face blackened with smoke, yet his eyes held determination. One by one, humans saved enemies who had tried to kill them. Karin realized, with a cold, terrifying certainty, that humans were strong in a way he had never understood. Not strong with weapons. Not strong with numbers. But strong in heart, courage, and compassion. The Empire's flagship prepared a massive strike against a human city. Karin could hear the countdown through the communication channels. Yet as the humans below continued their work, rescuing enemies and civilians alike, Karin felt a choice forming in his mind, a choice that could change the fate of two species. He stepped away from the console, his claws trembling. He knew that if he acted now, he could defy the Empire, risk everything, and perhaps save the humans, and maybe even himself. Karin whispered, almost to himself, if we destroy them, nothing remains. But if we spare them, maybe there is hope. The sky burned with fire and smoke, yet in the chaos, humans continued their mission, to protect, to save, and to survive. They fought a battle no one wanted, yet they did not give in to fear. And somewhere above, Karin realized that this battle was no longer just about war, it was about what it truly meant to be strong. The moment had come. Karin's hand hovered over the command console, ready to give the Empire's order, or refuse it. And in that silence, the entire galaxy waited. The battle had not gone as the alien Empire expected. Ships still hovered above Earth, but their crews were confused. Some whispered among themselves, questioning orders. Others were afraid, staring at the humans below who refused to fight like typical enemies. Humans did not shoot to kill. They saved, healed, and comforted, even those who had come to destroy them. On Earth, Mira Hayes watched as humans tended to aliens and their own citizens alike. Shelters overflowed with wounded soldiers, children, and even alien scientists. Smoke still rose from cities, but the streets were alive with movement, not panic but organized effort. Humans carried blankets, food, and water. They built safe passages through debris. Every act of care spread like a quiet message. We do not seek revenge. We fight to protect. In the alien fleet, Karin watched. He had defied his second-in-command before, refusing to strike humans unnecessarily. But now the ripple effects of humanity's kindness began reaching beyond Earth. Some alien soldiers were returning reports of humans saving their comrades. Word spread across the galaxy, humans protect even those who wish to destroy them. Karin felt a strange weight in his chest, something he could not name. He remembered the first human soldier he had seen carrying an injured alien pilot to safety. He remembered the alien child clinging to a human nurse. And now he realized the truth: humanity's strength was not in weapons, fleets, or technology. It was in courage, compassion, and heart. Commander Karin, hissed Rakan, frustration sharp in his voice, these humans are fools. Strike now while we can. They are weak. We can finish them. Karin shook his head, his claws gripping the railing. No, he said softly, almost to himself. They are not weak. They are something else. Back on Earth, humans continued their efforts. Civilians helped soldiers treat alien wounds. Teachers carried children through burning streets to safety. Engineers repaired alien ships, allowing injured pilots to survive. Each act of kindness confused alien forces further. Some started questioning their own leaders. Others were inspired, quietly abandoning orders to fire on the humans. Among the alien fleet, Karin sent a secret message to Mira. I cannot follow my orders, he said. The Empire demands destruction, but I cannot. I see what you are. I see your people's strength. Mira's response came swiftly. You are not too late, Karin. Help us end this without more death. Show your people what is possible. Karin knew the risk. If the Empire discovered this communication, he would be branded a traitor. His homeworld could be destroyed. Yet he also knew he could not turn away from what he had witnessed. Humans fought a different kind of battle, one that no empire could conquer with weapons. Across the galaxy, whispers grew louder. Reports from scouts and returning ships described the humans' actions. Injured aliens saved, children protected, fires fought, and civilians guiding those who were lost. Some alien worlds began to question the morality of their rulers. Some soldiers refused to attack, choosing instead to observe and report honestly. Karin's mind was in turmoil. His fleet hovered above Earth, ready to strike, yet he could not give the command. He watched humans moving calmly through chaos, lifting debris, carrying the wounded, sharing food, and comforting the frightened. Each small act built a bigger story. Humans were strong in a way the Empire had never known. In one corner of a shattered city, a young human girl knelt beside a wounded alien. She spoke softly, singing a quiet song. The alien's eyes closed as if the song alone could heal its fear. Nearby, a human soldier handed water to a group of tired alien pilots. "Drink," he said. "Rest. You are safe here." Karin's second-in-command seethed. "This is madness," Raken shouted. "They will never submit. Strike now or we fail." Karin shook his head. "No," he said firmly. "They will teach us something we never understood. And if we destroy them, we lose the chance to learn it." Meanwhile, Earth's humans did not stop. Across the world, even those untouched by the initial attacks volunteered to help. Farmers carried food to shelters. Doctors traveled to alien ships to treat injuries. Civilians rebuilt homes and hospitals. Humanity's acts of kindness spread like wildfire, even reaching alien minds and hearts that had never known mercy. Karin realized the scale of the change. The battle was no longer simply about conquest. It had become a test of understanding, a battle of hearts. Could his empire continue to wage war against a species that chose kindness over hatred? As the day turned to evening, Karin received reports that shocked him. Several alien captains refused to attack humans further. They cited the humans' compassion as the reason. "We cannot obey orders that destroy a species capable of such strength," one reported. Karin felt a mixture of fear and hope. Fear because he knew the Empire would punish him for insubordination. Hope because he understood that humanity's strength could change the galaxy. The humans below were not just surviving, they were teaching a lesson in power that weapons alone could never give. Finally, Karin made a decision. He would not obey the Empire blindly. He would protect Earth and its people. And if necessary, he would fight his own fleet to ensure the humans' safety. As night fell, fire still burned, but human efforts never ceased. Lanterns lit pathways for the wounded. Volunteers carried food and blankets. And everywhere, even alien soldiers whispered stories of humans who saved lives without fear, without revenge, without hesitation. Karin whispered to himself, his voice trembling with both awe and uncertainty, their hearts are stronger than any fleet we could bring. The Empire may have sent them to conquer, but Earth's humans were teaching a lesson no one expected. A lesson in kindness. A lesson in courage. A lesson in strength that could change the course of the galaxy. And as Karin watched the humans below, he realized the war was no longer about destruction. It was about understanding, about mercy, and about a kind of power no one in the universe had ever seen before. The galaxy waited as the Empire's flagship loomed above Earth. Its massive cannons gleamed under distant starlight, aimed at the planet below. Cities still smoked from the previous attacks, yet humans moved with calm determination. Civilians guided the injured, soldiers rescued those trapped in debris, and every act of care defied the Empire's expectation of chaos. On the bridge of his command ship, Commander Karin paced. His claws tapped nervously against the railing. Orders from the Empire had come in clear and final. Destroy Earth. Leave no survivors. Obey or die. He stared at the planet, seeing the humans continuing to save both their own and alien lives. Raken's eyes burned with anger. You hesitate too long, Karin. The Empire will punish us. Destroy them now or your world burns. Karin shook his head. His fleet was ready to obey blindly, but he could not give the order. He had seen the humans' strength, their courage, their compassion, their unwavering will to protect life. Weapons could destroy cities, but they could not destroy what made humans strong. Mirahei's voice came through a secure channel, calm but urgent. Karin, this war does not have to continue. You can make a choice. Help us stop this before more lives are lost. Karin's gaze shifted to the massive Empire fleet above Earth. Hundreds of ships, each with the power to obliterate cities, waited for his command. He thought of the humans below. Children clutching blankets, soldiers carrying alien pilots to safety, volunteers risking their lives to rebuild homes. Their acts of kindness were a force more powerful than any weapon. He turned to Raken. I cannot obey. Raken's claws snapped against the console. You are insane. If you refuse, your world dies. If you fail, your people die. Obey or we are all finished. Karin's voice was firm. Then let them try to stop me. I will not destroy what I cannot bear to kill. On Earth, humans continued their work. Fires burned, but humans ran into danger without hesitation. A human engineer climbed over a fallen building to rescue an alien crew trapped inside their damaged ship. Another soldier gave water to a group of frightened alien children, whispering softly, "You are safe. I promise." The Empire flagship fired a warning shot, a massive beam that streaked toward a human city. Explosions shook the streets. Civilians screamed and debris rained down. But instead of retaliating, humans ran toward the danger, pulling survivors out of rubble, saving injured aliens and humans alike. Karan knew the time had come. The Empire demanded action. He had one chance: destroy Earth himself and prove loyalty, or defy his fleet and risk everything. He gritted his teeth, eyes burning with determination. "Prepare to engage," Karan ordered, but not at Earth. His claws moved over the console, targeting the Empire flagship instead. Alarms blared. The fleet around him hesitated. Some pilots whispered, questioning orders, seeing Karan's choice. "Karan, what are you doing?" Khan hissed. "You cannot attack our own fleet." Karan's voice was calm, almost cold. "I'm stopping a war. If the Empire wants destruction, let them face the consequences." The flagship fired again, but Karan's ship moved with precision, dodging the massive beam. His weapons locked onto the Empire vessel, targeting engines and weapon systems. Explosions rippled across the flagship as Karan's attack struck with deadly accuracy. Below, humans watched the skies, unaware of the struggle happening above. All they knew was that the attacks had slowed. Their courage and resilience had bought them time, and now the galaxy itself was shifting. Alien ships around Karan wavered. Some fired blindly at humans, but others, seeing his defiance and the humans' courage, refused. Reports came in of entire squadrons abandoning orders, moving away from the battle, questioning the Empire's commands for the first time. Karan's ship took hits. Panels sparked, alarms screamed, and the bridge shook violently. Yet he pressed on, fighting not to destroy humans but to protect them. He called out to any loyal alien soldiers, offering them a choice: stop attacking or face the consequences of blind obedience. Meanwhile, on Earth, Mira coordinated rescue efforts as explosions shook the skies. Civilians ran toward danger zones to pull out injured aliens. Soldiers stood firm, guiding terrified children to shelters. Every act of courage and mercy below strengthened Karan's resolve above. Finally, the Empire flagship was crippled. Its massive weapons offline, engines failing, it drifted powerless in orbit. Karan's fleet, now under his control, hovered uncertainly. The Empire's command channels were silent. They could not believe what had happened. Karan breathed heavily. He had made the choice. He had defied the Empire, risking his world and his people, but he had done the right thing. A small alien pilot, rescued by humans earlier, whispered over Karan's secure channel, "Why do they do this? Why do humans help us?" Karan looked at Earth below, its city still burning yet alive with hope. "Because," he said softly, "this is their strength. They do not fight to destroy. They fight to protect. And in that, they are stronger than any fleet in the galaxy." Myra's voice came again, full of relief. "Karan, it's not too late. Together we can end this war." Karan nodded. He knew the battle was not fully over, but the tide had changed. Humans had shown him something that no training, no empire, and no weapon could ever teach: the power of heart, courage, and kindness. That night, as the smoke rose from cities and alien ships drifted silently, Karan whispered to himself, almost in awe, "If the Empire cannot see it, then it is their weakness. Humanity is our lesson. And I will protect it no matter the cost." The choice had changed the course of worlds. The galaxy would never be the same. And somewhere in the distance, other fleets across alien space began to hear stories of Earth's humans. Warriors who fought not to kill but to save, and in doing so, inspired hope in even the coldest hearts. Karan looked to the stars, determination burning in his eyes. One choice, one act of defiance had rewritten the future. And humanity's kindness would spread farther than anyone could imagine. The aftermath of the battle hung over Earth like a heavy mist. Alien ships floated silently in orbit, their crews still shocked, their weapons silent. Fires burned in distant cities, but humans moved steadily among the rubble. They carried the injured, rebuilt structures, and comforted those who had lost everything. Humanity was exhausted, yet they refused to surrender to fear or despair. Commander Karan hovered above the planet, his claws resting on the railing of the command deck. The Empire's flagship lay crippled, and most of the other vessels had withdrawn, confused and questioning everything they had been taught. Karan had disobeyed orders. He had defied his empire. But he had done so for the humans. And now he realized the galaxy itself was watching. In a quiet moment, Karin reviewed the reports from his forces. Entire alien fleets had abandoned attacks after witnessing the humans' actions. Soldiers once loyal to destruction now whispered among themselves, "They fight for life, not conquest. They are not weak." Karin spoke softly to himself, almost in awe. "They have shown us what strength truly means." On Earth, Mira Hayes walked among the survivors. Children clung to adults, injured aliens were tended to, and civilians worked tirelessly to rebuild. Mira looked at the horizon, where smoke from distant fires mingled with the stars above. She knew this was only the beginning. The Empire had been humiliated, yet the threat was far from gone. Suddenly, the Empire's communication channels crackled. The voice of the High Commander boomed across space, "Karin, you will pay for this betrayal. Your world will burn." Karin straightened, his eyes cold and determined. "I will not obey you. Earth's humans have shown me the meaning of strength, and I will protect it." The Empire responded with a fleet, reinforcements, hundreds of ships, weapons primed for destruction. The galaxy held its breath. But something had changed. Karin's fleet, inspired by what they had witnessed, refused to follow orders blindly. Pilots, engineers, and commanders now acted on conscience, not on fear. One by one, reinforcements refused to fire, hesitated, and finally withdrew. On Earth, humans continued to save lives. Every act of kindness reached farther than anyone imagined. Even alien soldiers, observing the humans, began to question their own motives. Across the galaxy, the word spread, "Earth's humans fight differently. They do not destroy. They protect. They are stronger than any empire could imagine." Karin took a deep breath. He had made the choice that changed worlds, but now he had to finish it. Not by destroying but by teaching. He transmitted a message to the Empire. "This war ends. We do not seek vengeance. We do not fight to destroy. Earth's humans fight for life. If you cannot see this, your empire will fall by your own pride." Silence followed. For a long moment, nothing moved. And then alien fleets began to retreat. Ships turned away from Earth, their commanders silent, questioning, afraid of what they had seen. The Empire had underestimated the humans. They had assumed fear would conquer, but they had not expected courage, mercy, and kindness. Back on Earth, Mira and her team continued their efforts. Injured humans and aliens alike were brought to safety. Communities rebuilt bridges, hospitals, and homes. Survivors shared stories of courage and bravery, stories that would be told for generations. Karin watched from orbit as humans carried alien children into shelters, repaired damaged ships, and comforted those who had lost everything. He felt something he had never known: hope. Humanity's example had rewritten not only the battle but the very understanding of strength in the galaxy. A small alien pilot, once injured and saved by humans, approached Karin's console. "Why do they do this?" she asked quietly. Karin looked down at Earth, at humans helping each other and even the aliens they had fought against. "Because," he said softly, "their strength comes from what they protect, not what they destroy. They fight for life, and that is the greatest power in the galaxy." News of the humans' actions spread across alien worlds. Entire species began to reconsider their own ways. Alliances shifted, wars paused, and leaders debated the lessons of Earth. One thing was clear: the Empire's rule through fear had been broken, and the humans had rewritten the rules of war without firing a single lethal shot at their enemies. On the ground, Mira stood beside a young human girl who had rescued an injured alien soldier earlier. The girl smiled, brushing soot from the alien's armor. Mira whispered, "This is the future we fight for. One where courage and kindness change the galaxy." Karin's fleet hovered silently above, watching humans continue their work. He knew the Empire would return one day, but Earth had shown what was possible. And in that moment, the galaxy realized a simple truth: power is not in weapons, fleets, or domination. It is in heart, courage, and mercy. As night fell, lanterns glowed in cities and shelters alike. Fire still burned, but humans had created safety where chaos had reigned. Across broken streets, the acts of bravery and kindness rippled outward, reaching alien observers who had never seen such a thing. Karin whispered, almost to himself, "They came to conquer, and learned the lesson of kindness. The galaxy will never forget this." From space, the humans looked small, fragile even, yet their impact was enormous. Entire alien fleets had learned what the Empire could not teach: that compassion, courage, and mercy were more powerful than fear, more lasting than weapons, and stronger than any army. The Empire had fallen, not by destruction but by the lesson of humanity. And Earth's humans stood as a beacon, proving that even in the darkest moments, strength could be found in kindness. And as the stars shone quietly over a battered but unbroken planet, the future rose. A future where humans would be remembered not just for surviving, but for teaching the galaxy the true meaning of strength.